Statements have been published for what results. I'm to say that the more the dynamics keep changing, the more the pains of the population. And why the pains of the population? Because the people who have power, the people who have the stronger voice are not talking. They are not saying anything. Rather, it is the local population which is paying the heavy price. Now, when you talk about paying a price, what does that entail? It's when you pay for something, it's in return to have services or satisfaction of that which you paid or bought, right? So the population is paying the heavy price. For what? For nothing. Nothing in return, but for their own doom. That same population which we say should bear for the sake of liberation.
Let me stay with you. Burning has become so common. Must you burn, or must they burn to prove a point?
Now, I will say, as I said in my introductory utterances, that we are breeding a new generation of leaders who today understand that solving our problems is through violence, because of the new normal which we have in our communities today, where people just wake up one morning and say, go and burn the cars. Where people just wake up one morning and say, there is lockdown. And that mother in the village who went to the farm to harvest her vegetables, which she will take to the market, on the point of going to the market to sell the vegetables so that she will get money to buy rice, fish, or buy medication, or buy a textbook for her child, is forced to throw those vegetables and run helter-skelter because there is an imposed lockdown suddenly, which has been put in place, and she finds herself nowhere because she's running for safety. She loses all what is called livelihood, and we take it normal, and this is only escalating. Instead of de-escalating, it is escalating. That is the type of violence we see today, where the children, those we call our children, I'm speaking now as a mother,
yes,
those we call our children are the ones coming to tell us what to do. Those we call our children who sit somewhere and smoke weed, who didn't go to school, are the ones coming to give us directives on what instructions, on what to do, on what ought to be and not, without seeking the opinion, without seeking to get the opinion of the population. But I want us to know that the numbers matter in this case. There will be a time when the population will rise, and when they will rise, there will be no hiding place for anybody. We should be very careful. We should be very careful.
Senior Barrister, we equally saw the military trapping all taxis that has even a small white or blue color on it, a blue mark on it. And then it gives us the situation of two elephants fighting. The grass, the population is at the center of all this.
Well, you see, my co-panelist said here earlier that it was a matter of security, and when it comes to security, measures have to be taken. Now, you see, what they were doing that caught your notice is the same thing as the bikes that they said we don't want bikes to circulate. Now, when you have a security situation, you say, well, bikes should not. You impose a dusk to dawn curfew. We don't want bikes to circulate from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Now, are you in any way helping the security of the population by that measure? Let us see. How are you helping? Because in a crisis hit area, normally there are no vehicles that can even ply the road at that hour. The only means of transportation is by bikes. If somebody is sick and they have to go to hospital, it will be by bikes or they will have to trek. Now, you say they should not use bikes at that hour when the only means they could use to save life is by bike. Are you helping anything? Let's go to the other aspect, security-wise.
Are you not looking at the security?
I am coming, sir.
Yes.
I'm coming. The second aspect, if the army is outside and people are passing on their bikes, is it easier for them, hidden in the bushes or behind houses, to observe a bike rider and know this is a terrorist or this is a thief or this is an honest man.
Are you going to have military everywhere?
Please.
Maybe they are focusing on
That's
the
the question.
action.
Please.
Maybe they are focusing on the action and not the
Senior
people.
barrister, that's the question you should ask yourself. Are you going to have military everywhere, in every corner?
We are not talking of having military everywhere, because when you say the bike should not circulate, it means that you have the means of enforcing your decision.
Okay.
If you don't have the means, then there's no need for you to order.
Okay.
So while enforcing that decision, let us see Amber Boys come. Are you in a position to stop them? We should make orders that we can enforce. Amber Boys, if they come with arms. You know very well that they come armed. And if they come, it will be a gun battle. So why do you expose the innocent population to those type of suffering? It is undue suffering. I consider it undue suffering because the putting of that type of ban does not improve the security situation. You only penalize the people who are not armed. Those who are armed cannot be touched. Now, let us go now to the point that is actually disturbing. You have people who are afraid of separatists. They pay their taxes blue and white, like they remove their number plates. I will blame the government. Why did you allow people to remove their number plates? Why? You allow them to remove their number plate, then now when they want to pay their taxes blue and white, you start arresting them for what? The army ought to have reacted when these people imposed the number plates. By allowing it pass, they put the population in a situation where they think that whatever these separatists say should be obeyed. So I think that they should not further disturb these innocent people, because the people are caught between and betwixt. And until the government has the position to assure the population that by not painting your taxi blue and white, you will not go, you will be safe. And if you cannot assure them, then please don't harass them, because the people have no other option.
Kezia, when you listen to Senior Barrister, he gives the impression that some of the decisions are not very comfortable, even with the population. Some of the alternatives given are not suitable for the population on ground.
Bikes were banned in the center city of the Northwest. They are not talking about Bambui, Bambili. They are talking about the center city of the Northwest. And Senior Barrister comes and say that bike is the only means of of transportation in the center city.
At night.
There is no center city of any region in Cameroon, the 10 regions. There is none that you don't have enough taxi there even at night. There is none in Cameroon. I mean, all the 10 regions we have, that the center city, be it Boya, be it Yaoundé, be it Bamenda, be it the center town Bafoussam, there is none that will say there are no taxi there at night. We should not give. Anyway, that's not important for me.
Maybe let's just breathe a little.
We are learning that taxis go inside the quarters.
We have so many messages coming in.
Now. Let me conclude. Let me just drop. Then one important aspect about all this is that separatists attack civilians and burn their cars. They attack people and even kill them. But when the military car is coming, they will run into the bush. When the military car passes, they come out and attack civilians. It just shows that their agenda is to inflict pain on the people, burn their cars, destroy everything that they can lay their hand on to ensure that the people suffer. I appreciate all those that stood up in Bamenda to collaborate with the forces of law and order. Now I will see how the separatists will be able to challenge the forces of law and order and the civilian that have stood up against them. However, I do not wish for any battle or conflict between them. My wish is that they should drop their arms and go to the disarmament center.
Thank you so much. We have many messages here. Let's just take this one before I come to you, Madam Imam. He says, I don't understand, are the separatists fighting for the population or against the population? In conclusion, I think the good deeds of the crisis is over now and the population are at the middle of the government and the criminals. That is coming from Chindo Dal. I don't know where he's writing from. Yes, I don't know where.
That's what I said a while ago. I think that is what I said a while ago. That the people who are paying the heavy price are the voiceless. it is the local population who are paying the heavy price. You know, you cannot say that you are in a position of power to impose laws and then you are faceless. You sit behind screens, behind laptops and desktops or machines to pass on messages when you are living an easy and quiet life somewhere, meeting
pain and suffering.
Pains and suffering on the people you claim to protect. Where is that protection when you take a taxi of somebody and say, who is a cripple, and you render him incomeless? Where is our humanity? Where is our humanity? We've called all the time for restraint, not only for the non-state armed groups, but also from the government side, especially the military. We've called for restraint all the time. But really, when it comes to the aspect of safety and security, I will say we know much about it, and we have a story to tell about it. And now, if they say bikes should not circulate between 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., what is the deal in that? What is the big deal in that? That will cause people, instead of going to follow the military or the people who impose who put in place the restrictions, you go after innocent civilians. I'm underscoring the word. Innocent civilians. As my brother Riley said, we come and do stuff, inflict pains, and then when the time comes that we should stand the heat, we run. Is that what we really call liberation? Are we really liberating our people, or we are feeding them with some kind of utopic hope which will never be achieved? Let us think. And today I will say it's time. It's time for us to halt, take stock of our dates, see where we have fallen, because we've fallen so low. We've fallen so low. How on earth and where did they even begin to say we are going to kill our people? We are going to dehumanize a people whom we say we cherish so much, when we live a type of lavish lifestyle in the places where we find ourselves. And at times we send those instructions while sipping a glass of wine or whiskey, to the detriment of those people without any sense of humanity, any iota of human feeling in what we are doing. We are saying that you can ignite talks. We should not only say that why is the government not talking? Why are we not talking? Why are they not talking? These are the questions we should start asking ourselves. We who are the big critics, what do we criticize? And what are the solutions to the criticisms which we put on the table? It is not, I said it in the beginning, that we've said it in time past. We've talked, people have marched, people lamented. I lamented with women on the street. I remember marching with women, 4,500, for example, in Kumba. Our women marching in the Northwest and being assimilated to a political party, whereas they were crying out their pains. We've done all of that. Nothing worked. Today we are saying that where are the people in power? Where are the people who have the power? Because the people who are paying the heavy price today are those without power, are those without voice. And this situation must stop for us to allow people to breathe a little bit. I mean a little bit. Because when we say that the enemy is somewhere else, and we see our people rushing to that somewhere else, and nothing happening, then we are our enemy. We are our problem. We are the disease. We are our disease, truly.
Thank you. Senior Barrister, when you listen to her speak, you watched yesterday the population of Bamenda. Maybe I will not want to quantify it, but some people came out alongside the taxi drivers to say enough is enough. declaring Ayabacho wanted. Yes. How can that yield some fruits?
You see, I don't believe in deceit. I don't believe in deceit. That meeting of yesterday was summoned by the divisional officer. It was announced about 2 or 3 days before. Now, you see, if the population is coming up to come and march, like she said, they organize marches. They don't need any person to summon them. It was not a spontaneous gathering. It was something organized by the administration. Now, and I have evidence. See, my party is on the ground. Nobody can fool me. You can't fool me. We are on the ground. We have evidence that taxi people, the taxi driver, distanced themselves from those bills that were carried, those billboards that were carried. They are not the ones who produce those billboards. And if you look at what was written there, it's not an Anglophone who wrote those messages. You read the messages. I mean, those things were not written by an Anglophone. No. I don't believe in deceit. Don't fool me. If you want to fool me, go to a different place. Tell me the truth. I will stand by you if you are right. But don't fool me. Don't try to fool me. Those messages were not crafted and displayed by taximen. The children who were carrying those messages, those billboards, were not taxi drivers. Correct me if I'm wrong. I saw children carrying those things. They were not taxi drivers.
I would not want to put the image because
I saw children carrying those things, and they were not taxi men. And you see, I want to believe that we don't need to describe Mr. Ayabacho as what he is already internationally known as. He is a criminal. He has been declared a terrorist by some states, 2 or 3 states. So we know him. What this government should do, let us try and get the means of catching this man. He is outside there. Let them catch him like Moja was caught. Bring him to justice. No, please. Wow. You don't have to. There is no hiding. Get him arrested because we know him already as an international criminal. And with all these things he is doing, that should ignite some procedure that can lead to his arrest. So I don't think that we should be fooling people. Don't fool people that the population came and said enough is enough. If the population wants to say enough is enough, they know what to do. And I am only calling on the population because those who went there, they went there because they were invited to come. The population should know that, like she rightly said, time has come for them to take their responsibility into their hands. The people who are giving orders have shown the limit of their orders. So it is now time for the population to say, sovereignty belongs to the people. They are the ones who shall exercise the sovereignty. And you can only do that in an election. Go and elect your mayors, your parliamentarians, your president.
Thank you, Barrister. Senior Barrister, let's take this one message. We have many of them. It's coming from Gideon. I love the way Barrister Asho is saying, because when you look at the law and enforcement on the population, the bikes shouldn't be seen out at a particular time. It is detriment to the population, so they have to understand it is for their security.
Well, okay.
Yes. So, Keja,
yes.
When you look at what is happening, we have the impression that some people do not want this stuff to end. For whatsoever reasons, we do not know.
When these guys get people for ransom and they collect money, why do you think they should stop? If your daughter get married, even in town, they come to your house and ask their own percentage of the bride price. How do you want this to stop? If you sell your land, your property, they come to your house and they ask their own percentage. How do you want it to stop? The problem here is that we know there are people that are feeding fat from all this, so definitely that one I cannot debunk, but their intention is evil.
People from
because their intention, as I earlier said, there are people that are benefiting from this. So we should denounce them. It's not about saying which camp are they from. What is happening, those that are benefiting and ensuring that this crisis should continue is evil, and we should tell them to change. It's not about where they belong to, which camp, which tribe, or whatsoever. Now, we have seen the people that came out in Bamenda. I will not go to the debate to say that they are Anglophones, they are Francophones, the way it was written, the way it was not written, the children that... I believe the authority did not call all of them in their phone and force them to come. And if they came out, it's because they have seen something evil that they are denouncing. Now, for me, what I have to say instead is the way forward, because Madam earlier said that when we analyze, we bring out things, we should be solution-oriented. And for me, I think this is time for chiefs to come out clearly to declare that their villages are not d'accord with Amber. We know villages that have done that open declaration.
You equally know villages?
Yeah, we know villages.
You equally know villages where chiefs or funds have been kidnapped?
Of course, yes. Now, we have, like we talk about Northwest, why don't we see them in Bamenda and Kwe? The chief was open to say, I am not part of this.
Where was that taxi burn? It was inside Bamenda.
I said Bamenda and Kwe. I said Bamenda and Kwe. Please, maybe some of us, we don't know.
That's off station.
Bamenda, no, it's not off station.
No, I'm just saying,
we have Bamenda and Kwe, we have Mancon,
what I'm saying is this.
We should not mix them.
Keja, this incident happened.
We have Bamenda 1, Bamenda 2, and no.
What I'm saying, Keja, what I'm saying is this incident happened at the heart of the town.
Yes.
Where we know that
Street.
in the Northwest, that's the safest place.
Street.
All right. Let me proceed. Why am I saying this? I will give an example.
Yes.
We have Senator Carlson. He's from Bamisi. Immediately he becomes senator, he started sensitizing the people, talking to the people that everyone has that power to denounce. You have that power to call the forces of law and order. Immediately he became senator and gave this education. Where is General Sargon that had 100 killed people all over Ndop? Since he became senator, have we heard that the road from Bamenda to Banso passing through Ndop has been blocked? No, because that's a senator that have decided to engage. I said Senator Muncarlson. He decided to engage, sensitize the people. Today, if the armed men are going to the street to block the road, automatically the people are the first to call the forces of law and order and inform. And since then, as I earlier said, roads have not been blocked again.
Thank you. Let's pick this. The message is pretty long, but I'll just take the first part. All these atrocities are the fallouts of the failed Grand National Dialogue in Yaoundé. That is coming from Mr. John Niba, watching us from Yaoundé. When he says what he says, he gives the impression that some elites have forgotten the role they have to play in all this.
That's
and
what I was
only
just
looking
saying.
at the government.
That's what I was just saying.
What I would say is that every one of us has a role to play within a conflict-prone community or country. When we say that there is a crisis, be you an elite, be you civil society, be you private sector, religious, the traditional or whatever, we have a role to play. And that role is to prevent conflict or to help resolve the conflict. Now, when we start criticizing and pointing fingers to a category of people, I will say no. Now, those who say the major national dialogue failed. The major national dialogue came, held, and is passed. It did its own. Just like when we civil society, we've been working, we do our own, and it helps in one way or the other. Conflict resolution is not something of one day. Conflict resolution is like a chain where you have the various knots. You move from one knot to the other. And so let them consider the major national dialogue like that knot within the chain. This is how it is.
A station in the process.
Yes. So what do we have to do? We don't have to relent. We must seek solutions and concrete solutions. I said we are not talking. We have been crying. We've been marching. We've been decrying. We are yet denouncing. Yes, it's true. After making all this noise here today, what will happen next? Is the question. So we need to find a way of bringing back this discourse into equation and see how we can make people talk. First of all, Anglophones need to talk among themselves. We are, first of all, so disunited. We do not have a unity of purpose in resolving this conflict. When you talk to A, he says one thing. When you talk to B, he says one thing. You have somebody who is a pacifier. You have somebody who is an entrepreneur of war today. And so how do we bring this together? You have somebody who is for non-violence. You have somebody who is for harmful actions. How do we bring this together? There must be an equation. And it is that equation which we're looking for. And we are saying that we all should put our heads together. If you are in the village, like those making the commentaries we like, they are contributing. Maybe they don't know, but they are contributing to peace building.
Yes.
By saying what they are saying. By us being here, we are contributing. But that is not the end. That's not the end of the matter. We need to think and think well. But while we are thinking, let us move a little bit away from harmful practices. Let us practice the do no harm on our population. When we practice the do no harm principle on our population, they will not be crying. They will not be suffering the way they are suffering. We've inflicted so much pain and suffering on our people, so much so that they've denounced us. Yes. They just need to speed us out. And this is the time when we are saying that in the communities, our mothers have been doing it wonderfully. They've been going from house to house. In most of the communities where we've been working, bringing the gospel of peace. Usually people sit and say, we need dialogue, we need third-party mediation, we need people to come and help resolve. How can they come and resolve your issue when you yourself, you are the problem, you've not resolved issues among yourself? So I'm coming. This is where the solution lies. The solution is in our hands. We have the solution, we ourselves. We must first of all come sit, agree that yes, we are brother, that we have failed ourselves, and we start looking at a better roadmap which will make us spring up from where we are in order to move forward.
We are moving towards the solution. Senior barrister, 8 years gone, the killings are still on, destructions are still on, lockdowns are on. Does it mean all the measures we've had so far have not been very fruitful? And if so, where do we go from here to tackle the situation?
Thank you. You see, I'm very happy today and lucky to have a peace crusader by my side, because I've been saying it countlessly that the solution to this crisis is on the table. You cannot expect Cameroon to be a first-time solution where an armed conflict will end with guns. No way. All armed conflicts end on the table.
Yes.
They all end on the table. And you see, there is something that people even forget. At the end of the day, all those boys who are in the bush, they are not the ones to be in power. They are fighting for nothing. They'll be fighting like that, wasting their time, killing themselves. At the end of the day, it is the politicians who will prevail, who will be presidents, prime ministers, ministers, and all those things. Those people in the bush will be forgotten. You see, so they should have a rethink. It is 8 years gone. Now, if we sit on the table, can you imagine that they will invite generals? What are Sagonu? Maybe to come and sit on the table with people.
Maybe they're believing on the multiplier effect.
It is not possible to invite them, because if you invite them, sitting next to one of them, you will be looking at them and say, does he have a gun on him?
Okay, let's take this other message. Hello, dear panelists. I think the long and short is to go and vote out the regime that has failed to resolve the crisis.
You had not finished with me, sir. You just
yes, maybe before I come to you.
Yes, you see, you asked for the solution.
We have barely 2 minutes to go.
Oh, sorry. The solution is that we should take notice that the government in place hasn't got the political will to end this crisis, because, like she was saying, the solution is on the table. Call people, let us sit on the table and have a true dialogue between the two states. That's very important, because if you ignore one party that you think doesn't exist, and you know the person exists, you are causing trouble. You don't want that solution to be found. So put the two states on the table. Let us decide how this country has to go forward.
Thank you. Kezia, maybe this will be your last word.
Yes, I still conclude by saying that the way forward is dialogue. And that is what the President of the Republic has engaged, that we should have dialogue, and dialogue is progressive. Not even that is the head of state that have said it. Naturally, when there is a problem like the way we have now, it's all about dialogue. And I believe that in no distant time, some of us, the youth of the Northwest and Southwest, will definitely organize a meeting to sit and talk about youth, about the way forward, because we realize that us, the youth, we are the one picking the guns. Those running out of the country, internally displaced, going abroad, they are us youth. So it's time for us youth to sit, organize ourselves to come forward and discuss. But when that will be approved, we'll give more information. And finally, to conclude, all elites, we have political elite, economic elite, social elite, elected official, chiefs, priests, and the rest. Please engage in dialogue. Engage in dialogue. And denounce evil activity. As I said, to conclude my last sentence, if today the road from Bamenda to Banso is no longer blocked again, it's because there is a senator, Carlson Bofung, that have engaged in dialogue with the people, and today roads are not blocked. And today, General Sargon is down because he sensitized the people to inform the forces of law and order. I believe that if other elected officials, I believe that if other chiefs, I believe that if other priests go into this process to dialogue with the people, to collaborate so that this should come to an end, I believe there will be lasting solution. Why we continue to express our dissatisfaction to the government if there is any.
Thank you so much. Priority to the lone woman.
Okay.
Madam, you look at the camera and send a word across to those trying to give our parents, our sisters, our brothers troubled in the Northwest in the name of protecting them.
What I would say is that it's time now more than ever for us to come together and talk as a people, try to find out what went wrong, what are the problems, the issues, and look for solutions. There is no problem without a solution. And it's only us that will bring the solution. Now, if we think that the solution is a third-party mediation, that should be, and then I would say we fail, because when you are talking about conflict resolution, there must be a kind of stability before even thinking about mediation. We ourselves can start by mediating, talking to ourselves before going out there.
Thank you.
Let us come together. Let us talk. Let us stop inflicting pains on the very people we claim to protect.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, madam. We are sorry that we cannot take all your messages. There are just too many. It is here that we are ending the program. And to say, if you miss out on anything, do not hesitate to watch the rebroadcast on Wednesday at 11 p.m. See, we meet again next Saturday at 12:30. Do stay away from trouble. Bye-bye.
Good advice.
Canal 2 International, votre télévision.
Comme toutes les mamans, je puise mon bonheur dans les plaisirs et le bien-être que j'assure à ma famille. Un petit déjeuner sain et riche les matins, des petits plats goûteux et des goûters succulents toute la journée. Et le bonheur est au rendez-vous. Mais savez-vous qui est au centre de tous ces plaisirs et bonheurs que je leur procure? La margarine Jadida, bien sûr. Fabriquée à base d'huile végétale en l'état. Facile à étaler sur la tartine, délicieuse et riche en vitamines A et E. Elle est parfaite pour la santé et le bien-être de toute la famille. Parce que leur plaisir et bien-être n'ont pas de prix, choisissez la meilleure qualité. Choisissez Jadida.
Les plus belles et les plus grandes étoiles du football brillent sur les antennes de Canal 2 International, diffuseur partenaire de l'UEFA Euro 2024. Avec ce samedi 22 juin à partir de 17h, en direct du Signal Iduna Park de Dortmund. Un affrontement choc comptant pour la deuxième journée du groupe F, Turquie-Portugal. Avec un Cristiano Ronaldo en puissance, la Seleção a l'ambition de décrocher son ticket de qualification face à une Turquie qui peut à tout moment créer la surprise. Turquie-Portugal, c'est ce samedi.